What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chug Nerd YouTube channel. Today we're going to be checking out a little piece of YouTube guitar history. Let me explain what I mean. Alright, welcome back to the Chug Nerd YouTube channel, everybody. If you're brand new here, then please just allow me a moment to introduce myself. My name is DJ. I'm a guitarist from the southwest of the UK. Been playing guitar for about 20 years or so. Been doing YouTube for about 9 or 10 months at this point, and I also play in a band. We're a modern metal, groove metal kind of band from the southwest of the UK called HollowKin. We're just putting out our second EP, Decrepit Nature, and you can find all of our music absolutely everywhere online that you would normally find music, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, all the rest of it. Just type in HollowKin or follow the links down below in the description. It will take you right there. So if you go on to enjoy any of the licks and riffs and bits and pieces that you hear in today's video, then you may well just enjoy HollowKin because they're all inspired very much, or even taking from some of the riffs in some of our songs. Anyway, with that shameless self-promotion right out of the way, I promised you a little slice of YouTube history. So right here in my hands, I have this wonderful Ibanez RG7421 7-string electric guitar. Now this guitar once upon a time belonged to YouTuber and influencer Mr. Jamie Slays. Now this didn't come to me from Jamie. He sold this a little while ago and it's gone through a few different owners, and just recently through a trade on Marketplace, through my Project Marketplace series, which you can hear all about up in one of these videos up here in the links or in the cards at the end, I came into possession of this guitar. Now before we go any further, I think it'd be really cool to share with you what this guitar sounds like in a full demo mix. So here comes the demo. However, before I play it, I just wanted to explain that owing to the fact that this once belonged to Mr. Jamie Slays, I wanted to do something that was in the vein of what he's all about. Now he's very much into his Metallica, his thrashy, fast, down-picking, riffy kind of music. So I really wanted to lean into something that was a bit more old school Metallica-esque, and that's where I went with this demo. So there's a lot of pentatonic leads. I'm not a lead player, I am a rhythm player, but I did my best. So enjoy the demo, let me know what you think of it in the comments below. So without further ado, let's roll the demo. So signal chain for today's video is a little tiny bit different to usual. Now we're still going to be using the Neural DSP SLO100 plugin, and we're still going to be using the Focusrite Scarlett Solo interface. That hasn't changed. And in all the little sound clips that you're going to hear, it's just going to be my own preset that I made up. It's nothing fancy, it's nothing special, it's just what I enjoy. However, in that demo that you just listened to, I actually used some of Jamie's own presets. Now he's got a whole bank of presets on the SLO100 plugin app, which you can select, and I used the Them Chugs, the Slays, and the Sanitary plugins. So 3 different presets on the plugin that made up that demo song. So if you enjoyed the tones in that, then you can find them for yourself on the Neural DSP plugin. Not a sponsored video in any way. I just really enjoy the SLO 100 plugin, and I just thought I'd mention that I used some of Jamie's own presets for that demo. So as I mentioned, this isn't a sponsored video in any way. This guitar now belongs to me. I traded it through my Project Marketplace series for the ESP LTD KH-202 guitar. Probably priced in a similar bracket. You could argue that the KH-202 was worth a bit more. However, on this particular extremely uniquely spec'd out guitar, you'll notice that we've got some lime green and green bare knuckle pickups. Now these pickups are the Cold Sweat in the bridge and the Ragnarok in the neck here, and I think they sound absolutely superb. Around about now in the video, I like to have a look at some specifications for the guitar. Now I'm going to run you through the specs for the guitar as it is, because this has been modified to Jamie's specs. So this is the Ibanez RG7421. We've got a mahogany body, a 3-piece maple Wizard 2/7 neck, and a rosewood fingerboard. This is a 25.5-inch scale length. We've got 24 jumbo size nickel frets, a nut width of 48mm. We've got an Ibanez own standard fixed bridge, and we've got Ibanez own brand or non-branded tuning keys. And as I mentioned, we've got a Cold Sweat bare knuckle pickup in the bridge, and we've got a Ragnarok in the neck. So I'm not 100% sure if all of the electronics were changed when the pickups were changed, but we've got 1 volume, 1 tone, and a 5-way blade switch, which all work perfectly. So before I get into any of the pros and cons of this guitar that I kind of want to talk about, I just wanted to mention that I'm not usually a massive fan of Ibanez, and I kind of noted when I was preparing for this video that I've been saying that a lot lately. I've had a bunch of Ibanez on this channel, and I kind of feel like actually I am a bit of an Ibanez fan, because I've really enjoyed playing this guitar and getting to know it a little bit, and I've had a bunch of Ibanez through I've done videos on my channel, and I think I've enjoyed every single one. The one reason I don't massively like Ibanez is because a number of years ago I sunk a bunch of money into my first 7-string. It was a really nice Ibanez. I forget all the model names and numbers for it. It was an Alpha series, beautiful guitar, but I just really didn't enjoy playing it, and I think it kind of put me off. All the guitars that I've played lately from Ibanez I've really enjoyed, including this one. Now the super cool thing that I get to do when I get traded guitars on this channel, and I do that through my Project Marketplace series, which as I mentioned you can hear more about in the videos up here that I'll link to, but essentially what I'm doing is I'm trading guitars on Facebook Marketplace all the time and constantly getting new guitars in on the channel. And the very coolest thing about that is all right, it might be great to see what a guitar is like out of the box, brand new from the factory. But once you've kind of got it and you set it up, those thoughts and kind of opinions on a brand new guitar are kind of irrelevant because you've then fixed it up to be how you want it to. Not many guitars come absolutely perfect out of the box. You usually need to do some kind of setup. But the coolest thing that I find with reviewing guitars that are secondhand is they've been around the houses a little bit. They've had a bit of a life. They've been used and abused over the years, and I get the opportunity to see how well they hold up over time, which I think actually is kind of more valuable than seeing what a guitar is like brand new. Doesn't mean I don't like brand new guitars. I'm sure there'll be plenty of brand new guitars on this channel as the years progress. But I just think it's a really cool thing to know is that I get to see that this guitar has held up really well. Now this is a 2017 year guitar made in Indonesia in the Cortec factory. So it's 8 years old, and I imagine it's been played a lot in those 8 years. So Jamie had this for a number of years. I imagine he's played it a lot. The next two owners since then, again, I imagine they've played it a lot. It's been really well looked after. It's in excellent condition. It's a little bit grubby. It's got these new stickers on it that the last owner, a chap called Lee, put on there. Sorry Lee, they're not massively to my taste. I'll probably be removing them before I move this on our marketplace for something new. But other than that, paint wise, everything, it's all in really good nick. I'm really impressed with it. Other things about this guitar that I really like, I'm going to say the pickups, but I'm going to come back to those in just a moment. Guitar wise, the neck is great, the Wizard 2 neck. It's thin, it's fast, but it's not super thin, it's not too thin. I don't like super duper thin necks, but it's a really nice neck. The frets are lovely, they're nickel frets, jumbo frets, they're big chunky modern metal kind of guitar frets, and again they've held up really well over the years. There's no fret sprout, they're super comfortable in the hand, really nice. So the playing experience is generally really good. Another cool thing that Ibanez do, which is on this model as well, is the string ferrules on the back here. I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up in the camera there, we'll try. But the string ferrules are kind of wonky, and the reason they're kind of wonky is to allow for different string tensions through the different strings, which when you're using an extended range guitar, I think is quite important to give you the most optimal string tension on the various different strings for whatever tuning you happen to be using. Now this is a 25.5-inch scale length, which a lot of people would say is too short for a 7-string guitar, but I don't know, I quite like it. My Matt Hafey Epiphone Les Paul is 25.5-inch scale, and I really enjoy playing this one. In fact, the lesser tension in this, I actually kind of think is quite unique these days in a 7-string guitar, and I quite enjoy playing it. So if you're looking at getting one of these secondhand, or you're looking at any guitar that's 7-string with a kind of standard 25.5-inch scale length, then don't let it necessarily put you off. If you're tuning down super low to your drop Fs, drop Es, double drop Ds, all the rest of it, then yeah, it's probably going to be too short unless you use massive like tugboat chain strings on it. But generally, for like if you're using drop A or maybe even down to like G or G sharp, then you're probably going to be okay on a 25.5-inch scale length guitar. And I really like it. Things about this guitar I think could be improved upon. I think generally the tuning stability could be better, and I'm generally going to be looking, I don't know if that's focused or not, the camera's too far away from me. I'm generally looking at the headstock as the blame for that. The tuning keys I think are pretty basic and pretty cheap ones, so they're nothing fancy, and I don't imagine the nut has been changed. I'm assuming it's just a plastic nut. Either way, one of those two factors, the tuning keys or the nut, or perhaps both, mean that this guitar didn't seem to hold tuning super well while I was playing it. I did find myself tuning a fair amount while I was doing the demo tracks and some of the sound samples, but that's a straightforward fix. You know, upgrading tuning keys these days, it doesn't have to be a problem. It doesn't even have to be super expensive. You can get decent ones just off Amazon if you want to. So an easy fix. Otherwise, very enjoyable playing experience. I think it sounded great, and I think it looks super cool. I'm not a massive fan of Strat-shaped guitars. I prefer Tellys and Les Paul kind of shapes, or certainly Explorer shapes, but this is still very cool. You know, it sits in that kind of metal vibe, I guess. So lastly, let us talk about these pickups. Now, these are cool pickups. Not only do they sound great, I think they sound awesome. They're crazy hot. They're super hot pickups. I think they look super cool as well. And while I was doing some filming for this video, I kind of had this niggling kind of thought in the back of my mind. And I'm wondering what you in YouTube land think of this idea. So what do you reckon it would be like if we took these pickups out of this guitar, return this guitar to stock? I've got the original pickups, and we took these pickups and put them in this guitar. How wild would that be? I like Fishmans. I enjoy Fishmans. I have Fishmans on this guitar, and I have them on my Legator G7AX. I like them, but I prefer passive pickups. Just a personal preference. There's nothing wrong with Fishmans. I really enjoy them. I just prefer traditional passive pickups. And I'm thinking, while I've got the opportunity to put a really awesome set of passive pickups in this guitar, I think I should go for it. That's not a permanent modification either. So if I did it, it wouldn't be me. It'd be my wonderful guitar luthier, Mark, who owns an amazing lutherie business called Wilkes Guitar Repairs. He'd be doing the work for me. I feel like that could be a cool opportunity to do something a bit wild and a bit different with this super traditional looking Les Paul. Appreciate fully there's going to be plenty of people out there that think that's an awful idea, but I kind of like to do things that are unique and go against the grain a bit. I think it will sound amazing. I think it will look pretty wild as well. Do me a favor, let me know in the comments section down below what you think. Should we or shouldn't we take these bare knuckles out of the Ibanez and put them in the Epiphone? Like I said, it's a reversible thing. If it looks and sounds terrible, then we can always change it back. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. So in fact, because of that thought that I had, I actually did a little of A/B testing between the Ibanez and the Epiphone. So I'm going to play that now just to help you, give you a bit of more of a kind of educated input into what we should be doing and see if you think it's worth doing or not worth doing. So yeah, have a listen. Let me know what you think. So I reckon that's probably everything I wanted to say about this guitar. If we do return this to stock, then I will do another little quick demo video on it just to see what it sounds like and plays like when we've got it back in its stock configuration. So keep an eye out for that video and other videos coming on the channel. It would mean the world to me if you've enjoyed this video, if you would hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 1,000 followers before the end of 2025, and it would be absolutely amazing to have you as part of that journey here on the Chug Nerd YouTube channel. Drop a like and leave a comment as well. I love having a conversation with people in the comment section of my video. I'm a little bit behind on my commenting at the moment, but I will get back to everyone who's left me wonderful comments on previous videos. Anyway, I will leave it there. Thank you once again for joining me for today's video. I hope you go on to have a wonderful day today, and hopefully I'll look forward to catching you again in another video very, very soon. Take care till then, everybody. In a bit.